G'day, Simon here. Hope you can hear me all right. So, I'm also Kiggity Captain Australia, and this is your chickity boop chickity Captain Australia's evening update. Boom. I hope this stream finds you well. I am doing very well myself. So I've gorged. I'm like a leech, totally full of blood. So I've had a lovely big feed thanks to the hospitality of the Warren and the crew here at Tea Gardens, and Hannah, who runs the motel. Yeah, evening, Mick. How you doing? Um, yeah, so I've had a good old feed, and I've also had 3 beers with the crew up there at the club. And 3 beers, I am a cheap date because 3 beers is enough to do me in these days. So pre-chemo, I could drink with more efficiency. Now 3 beers, I'm ready for a good old sleep. But yeah, I thought I'd better stream up and say g'day and see if anybody's up for a chat first. Papa Jock, hey mate, how are you? He says, hey mate, how was the bath? Mate, lovely. So getting into the bath after 31 days, turning on the spa, having that vibrate all over my back after carrying that big old pack around. What a joy, you know? And again, it just sort of shows me some just basic insights, you know, that suffering ends, that toil isn't bad, and that after the toil you get a greater appreciation for the wonderful things that are available to you. You're looking great, says Natalie. Well, that's very generous of you. I think I look like an old hobo wannabe Gandalf the Wizard or something, but thank you so much. Sue Newton, yeah, it doesn't take much these days. 3 beers and you know, 3 beers in a movie and I'm yours for the night. But yeah, I've had lovely fellowship with the crew here, and I genuinely, after 3 beers, I feel half drunk. And that's not a bad thing. So I'm back at the motel room, just sort of laying back and taking it easy. And tomorrow, the plan is, at 10 o'clock, I've booked a ticket on the ferry that runs from Tea Gardens over to Nelson Bay. And from there, I have the choice between road or beach to get down to a place called Stockton, which then has a ferry over to Newcastle. Now, Newcastle, there's a track, a walking track. I think it's called the Great Northern Road or something like that, the Great Northern Walk, something like that, that potentially runs through Swansea and all the way into Sydney. So as long as it isn't too much of a long and winding track, that's the pathway in front of me. And the goal is to get through to Sydney within the next, well, I reckon it's possible that between Nelson Bay and Newcastle, I can get there in one day. It might be an overnight thing. I don't know until I get there and look at it. And I've had conflicting reports about the distance about the beach versus the road, although on a map it looks like the beach is a much straighter run. It might not materialise that way when I'm there and seeing it in front of me. So I'll just, you know, figure that out. So I'm not sure how long for Newcastle and then how long further into Sydney. I'm looking forward to getting into Sydney, and I hope there'll be a bit of local media there. Look, it'd be great to get on Sunrise or something with Koshy and all of those people, because the media pulses are so tremendously important for the charity. I'm no good at all the social media stuff. I'm just a bullfed, you know. I'm just trying to do a righteous thing before I die. Just trying to do a good thing and pure. And it's not just for the charity, it's also for myself. You know, I want to evolve and get better and get past my own fight with cancer. And the whole charity side of things, I'm just aware that I don't have the really sharp set of skills. Like you've got these people who YouTube personalities and whatever, they're able to, you know, like a dance, they can create this narrative and use it to, you know, trigger public interest. But me, I'm just trying to be real, tell the truth and muddle through. So I don't have that ability. So I just hope that as I toddle into Sydney, big flag flapping behind me, dressed as a superhero, that's enough for one of them to take notice and chuck me on the telly, because every time that happens, the charity gets a payoff, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, Newcastle, Sydney, and then the push into Melbourne, and I think that's where it gets hardcore, because I've come a long way, but the push into Melbourne, you know, it's going to get colder, there'll be a new set of challenges, and because I'm so far from my kids and my wife, I have to resist the impulse to just push hard down the motorway. Joe Watson says, maybe today can out you on the today, so sorry, today, the show, well, they've had me on twice now, so yeah, that would be great too, to do a bit of a Sydney update, anything and everything media wise. I need to be like Robert Downey Jr. doing a press release for the latest Iron Man movie kind of thing. I just need to lean into it and do the best I can. Julie says, you being real is the reason so many people want to follow and support you. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. We just need, I don't know, there's that moment where, you people, you've adopted me and you're wonderful. You're the hardcore. But for every one of you, there's 1,000 people out there who might just jump on and drop a donation on the charity, and so it's reaching them that's the challenge. But the charity's already made $52,000 odd out of it, and that's not a terrible amount of money. I'd like to get to the end and go, wow, not oh that's nice, but wow, you know what I mean? And that's not. I mean, is there vanity in that? I don't think so. So it's not like I want to then be able to say, oh, look at what I did. I do want my children to be proud of me. So the bigger that number sounds, I guess that's like a material, and look what daddy did. But at the end of the day, I think it's more about the more we raise, the more likely that one life has been saved. And that's something that I carry in my heart as I'm marching along. Save but one life. Save but one life. Save but one life. And you save the world entire. And that's in my heart as I'm marching along, just pushing myself. And look, the last few days, I've done really well, tremendous. I kept running out of gas, and I kept finding more, even if it was just fumes in the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? And I'm delighted by that. It's teaching me again, pride and dignity and being invested in life, and that I can be of service. And I don't know, anyway, old man ramble. Sue Newton says, you just keep doing you. Yeah, I guess that's the option. Keep doing you, And Natalie says, your kids must be proud. You're incredible. Well, thank you, Natalie. I do think my boys are very, very proud. And when they say stuff to that effect, I have a little sook. So we're going to do a live stream. We're going to do a FaceTime call after this live stream. And yeah, when they say stuff like, Dad, you're the best dad in the world, or I love what you're doing, yeah, I'll have a little bit of a sook, a little bit of a weep, and it's just joy. It's joy. And the ordeal gives me that higher appreciation and joy. It's like I'm stripping back what it means to be human for me to the raw basics, and then rebuilding from there. So I'm like being reborn in a way, but not like as a born again Christian, but as a completely born again human. Except that I'm older and ravaged by cancer, and still broken in some meaningful ways. I am through this ordeal learning some basics about myself and who I want to be as a human being. Lawson says, hey mate, what route are you taking? Are you going near Newcastle? Buddy, I'm going smack bang through Newcastle, and if you want to have a beer or say g'day, count me in. So from here, Tea Gardens tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I get on this ferry. Apparently 95% of the rides on this ferry spot dolphin pods. So if we see a pod of dolphins, I'll record it and share it, yeah? But that will take me across to the other side where it's Nelson Bay, and from there it's road or beach straight down to Newcastle. Well, to a town called Stockton, where I ferry across to Newcastle. Once I'm in Newcastle, I might, linger around, because a lot of people seem to be there, and there's a few key people who have said, I'm in Newcastle, I'd love to meet up. And there's this road that goes down into Sydney. And look, if anybody in Newcastle wants to get together and do that leg of the walk with me, or part of it, I'd be delighted. If you wear your underpants on the outside and a cape around your neck, even more delighted. If you want to go full throttle into Sydney with me, wonderful. We'll team up and power down. But if you don't, that's cool too. I'm on my own. No worries at all. But yeah, anybody who wants to get involved on any level, or if you've got a karaoke night and you want me to visit and it'll help the charity along, I will. Awesome Human says, hey Simone, are you calling me effeminate? How with a big bushy beard like this You know, a COVID beard now turned 30-day walking down down the beach hobo beard. How can you call me Simone? Okay, it's Simon. I am a dude. I identify as a dude, and my pronouns are dude or fuck you. Shit, I swore again, and then I swore again. I'm sorry. I've had beers. I apologise for that. My pronouns are dude or whatever. So Simone, no, Simon. Also human. Sorry, typo. Okay. No, is that a little tear face? Don't have a little tear face. It was a moment of giggleness. Would love to try see you tomorrow in Newey. I don't know if I'll necessarily get to Newcastle tomorrow. So apparently the leg from Nelson Bay to Stockton is like 45k or something. So conceivably I can push through in a day, but I need to get to the end and be able to ride the ferry across. So what's likely going to be the plan is somewhere outside Stockton, I pitch camp. And then, you know, early in the morning, like 5 a.m. or whatever, I'm up, I pack down the camp and head across the ferry into Newcastle. So if tomorrow's Australia Day, I think the default has me, oh God, I got dreadlocks in the back of my hair. Oh, hey man, you got the ganja man. Jeez, I don't make cultural or racial jokes, Simon. You're old, but you can only get away with so much. But yeah, I've got dreadlocks forming in the back of my hair. Jesus. Don't say Jesus, Simon. There are people there who might not like you saying Jesus. Oh, okay, Simon, stop. You're talking to yourself and you're not even alone on the beach. Oh. Rewind. Okay. So, yeah, Newcastle, I reckon rolling in on the morning of the 27th will be the default. And how about I just call you Awesome Human instead? Well, that's all very kind of you, mate. So yeah, on that morning of the 27th, if you're in Newcastle and you want to get together, sort of bank on that. I reckon that's my best guess. And anyone who wants to walk beyond that is utterly welcome. Or if you want to get something going in Newcastle, a get together of some kind, lovely. Well, when you get there, we're excited to catch up and say hi. Yeah, the best way to get me is if you just drop a message on the Caps Big Walk Facebook page, message to that. I read them all. I'm pretty diligent about trying to stay on top of them. And if you want to get together or whatever, just say, I'd love to get together. Just throw it out there in the most basic sense, and I'll tell you what I can do and how I can make it work. But yeah, even if you just want to say hi, I'm happy, as long as it's not like a big 20k sort of off the beaten path, or if it is, if you're willing to drive to me rather than make me walk to you, absolutely delighted. I'd love a chat and love to make the time to say howdy. Howdy, ma'am. Gail says, would love to do a part of the walk with you, Captain. That'd be a delight. So wherever you are, if I pass through or near your town and you want to, bang. Just bear in mind, I have to keep going. I'm resolute. It takes a bullet to stop me. I'm keeping on going. So if there's some sort of a problem, it's on your own head, you know what I mean? Like if you sprain your ankle or whatever, we need to, and I want to help you and I'll do my best to help you, but I do need to keep going. So I'll wait with you while the support, you know, your family come to get you or whatever, and I'll do my best to assist however I can, but I have to keep going forward, not backwards. So you're, you know, it's on your own head if you choose to come along for any stretch, but you're welcome to, and I'm delighted if you do. Hannah says, Maxine Smith, have you seen Captain Australia in Tea Gardens yet? Well, right now I'm huddled in the Tea Gardens Motel near the country club thingamabob, and if anyone wants to say g'day, I'm not wearing pants, so be warned. I was actually laying here starkers, but I put this Tea Garden shirt they gave me on so I could do a stream. But, you know, I'm like a newsreader, you know, you can't see what's going on downstairs and how flamboyantly horrible that is. So I've just shattered the illusion a little bit, haven't I? But yeah, look, and in the morning when I go to get to the ferry, I'll be wandering through Tea Garden back to the Singing Bridge. So if you are around and you want to say g'day, that's an opportunity as well. So Lynette says, see you at the ferry Thursday. Okay. If today is Tuesday, and I don't know without checking, then you will. Yeah, Thursday morning I'll roll into Newcastle. That's the base plan. Kelso says, gee, you're funny, lol. Okay, thank God. I mean, thank whatever omniscient presence you do or do not believe in. I'm just trying to talk true and not censor myself, but I genuinely don't want to offend anybody if I do. I don't know if I use a gendered term when I shouldn't, or you know, a cultural term when I shouldn't, or whatever. I genuinely don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So feel free to educate me and whatnot if I say something wrong, but don't hate me for it. I'm just an old dude. Debbie says, I work at that club and it's fantastic. Okay, yeah, no, well, the staff in there are gorgeous. So wonderful, so kind, and I had such, oh God, these bloody dreadlocks in the back of my hair are so annoying. Uh, yeah, rip that open, old man, just rip it, there you go. Yeah, rip the dreadlock. Not a headlock, a dreadlock, dude. Yeah, the club is lovely. If you're ever in Tea Gardens, well, A, it's a lovely place in general. B, visit the club. The food is great. I recommend the wonton soup. Awesome human, just be you. Yeah, I think that's all we can do, and we've got to stop. I mean, we've got to learn to kind of accept one another and build consensus and teach one another, instead of just all like, I don't know, carroting up, you know, condemning one another. Condemn the motivation, not the mistake, you know what I mean? If someone's heart is in the right place, roll with it, educate, teach. You don't need to kind of crucify somebody when they're just trying to talk true. But yeah, anyway. Oh, Chunk. Hey, Chunk, how you doing, mate? Lovely to see your name pop up. Sue says, oh, special that the Tea Gardens gave you an outfit. Yeah, well, I wandered in for lunch and I was wearing like a sleeveless t-shirt. The only non-Captain Australia garment that I have, actually, because everything else was in the laundry, and they have a collared shirt rule. So Warren gave me the shirt and said I can keep it. Oh, fancy. Lynette says, call at the police station and say hello to Trent. Let him know you're alive. Lynette, thanks to bloody you, don't call the bloody police, please. Again, please, nobody. Do not escalate my safety. My wife will do that. Don't, please, okay? But I did. I called the police station. I didn't speak to Trent. I spoke to another officer. We had a lovely chat. We talked about Mungo Jerry in the summertime when the river, that one. And she passed a message on to Officer Moffat, I think his name was, Trent, or whatever, and just said, I'm fine, everything's fine, no action required. But please, never, ever, ever call any third-party entity. I don't care if it's the SES or the police or whatever. I'm okay, and if I'm not, it's on my own head, okay? So let's just keep the worry levels to my level, and I'm not worried, okay? And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a mean about that or whatever, but please, no, don't call the police. Chunkway, g'day, still stalking you all the, stalking, right, all the way to Melbourne. Oh, mate, I'm delighted. You can stalk me any old time. Most people would say, like, imply there's something wrong with having a stalker. I want more stalkers. I mean, it's not like there might be a creepy, like, sexual dimension to stalking, and I'm actually fine with that too. I think it's very flattering to have a stalker. You know, maybe that's the different perspective between an old man and a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman doesn't need more stalkers. She's got too many. I've never had one. It's nice to have at least one. If I had more, I'd be even happier. Stalk away, my old son. Debbie says, you should get a job at the club since you have a shirt. Yeah, I've got to move forward, not back, and I don't think I'll be moving to Tea Gardens in the short term. So, yeah, when I get home, I'll figure out what my job is, but I don't think it'll be here at the club. Okay, we've got Margaret. Your wife is one lol. Stalker? Yeah, oh well. She might have been my first and favourite stalker. Yeah. And yeah, look, anyway, sorry. Gone totally off down the old man ramble rabbit hole. So yeah, what is there to talk about? What have I learned? I don't know. I think the most important thing I've learned is letting go, you know? And living, like, just properly living in the moment. And I've had such absurd and surreal moments that I was totally present for. You know, like getting on the gangplank at Harrington to ride across with the Marine Rescue people. That was surreal and strange. But I was there, and it will resonate in my memory for years to follow. And I have room for that because I've let go of all of the grief and the garbage. And everything else that was inflicted on me by the cancer. So I think letting go is just a fundamental human skill, and a valuable, even precious one. Because we tend to carry our grief and our pain, even generationally. You know what I mean? We can carry not just our grief and pain, but our fathers and our fathers' fathers. You know, from past trauma, whatever it is. Jesse Pisswater, Jesse Pisswater Roach. Okay, hello Jesse Pisswater Roach. That's an intriguing name. I'm not wearing pants. Anyway, yeah, grief, letting it go. I think that's the best thing that I've done so far. Just washing away a lot of garbage that I was carrying that I didn't need. And the metaphor for me is like the big heavy pack that I carry. When I'm done with my walk, I can set that aside. And when I do, ooh, I'm so much stronger for it. You know, I used to complain about the weight of that pack, and I had to offload some unnecessary stuff. But now, I'm all good. And it's heavier than it ever was, actually. Extra food and water that I carry. I reckon it sits on an average day, when I'm running low on water or whatever, maybe 22 kilos. And when I'm fully stocked up, more like 25. And yet I tolerate it just fine. And that's just, I shouldn't carry more than 20% of my weight. And I'm sure my weight now is down in the 80 something or other. Still got a bit of extra, meaty chunks to get rid of, and they'll start to evaporate the more I walk. So, it is beyond the recommended weight for what I should be carrying, especially with such long distance walking, but it's making me strong. And that, that's the benefit of taking on an ordeal, a difficult task. So what else? Wiggity, wiggity, wiggity. Oh, yeah. Tea gardens. And it's hard, man. That's what the hell is hard. See, that, it's all just, I can't battle rap, and if I do, it gets lewd or stupid. I think I've run out of stuff to talk about. We know where we're going, we know what we're doing, and we know we're pretty chilled and relaxed, and even halfway drunk. So the only thing I could do is fill the space with noise. Silly old Captain Australia noises. Got the telly on in the background, that's a treat. Sue Foley says, you have had an experience that not most people would ever experience. You have had so much to share. I'm sure you will have other metaphors as you journey forward. Yeah, there's a lot bouncing around my ability to articulate it is probably the problem. I'm thankful for you sharing knowledge and being so real. Oh, thank you. Kelso says, I'm looking forward to your online auction. Sounds interesting. Yeah, so if you don't know and you're curious about what that's about, so I got a call initially from a guy at a resort called Lizard Island. It's a luxury resort. I think it's somewhere sort of north of Brisbane. So it's in sort of mid to North Queensland. And they have a package. It's worth $9,000, he said, including there's transfers over to the island, all expenses paid. It's all your meals, all your booze, luxury room, and then, all the activities, stuff like, riding catamarans and whatnot. So all of that stuff included in the package. Don't quote me though, because this is just a conversation that I had. The charity is handling the auction, and they'll give you the specific, correct details. So if I say something wrong, that's on me. If you look at it and you participate in it, read about what you're bidding for. But yeah, so they wanted to donate this package, and I suggested, well, let the charity organise it as an auction and put it straight into the funds. So the charity, there's this lovely lady, Natasha, who works with the Kids Cancer Project, and she's orchestrating that. So the message that you saw about it was set up by her, and there'll be more to follow. So it's like a holiday package valued at $9,000, and you get to bid on it. And if I understand it right, and the bids are down around 100, 200, and 300, well, you're going to get $9,000 value for $300 at the end of the day, I think. But hopefully we can rustle up some real money to add to the kitty, because $52,000 is just not enough. We need more. Helga says, who will I watch once your walk is over? I think these days we're spoilt for choice, aren't we, with all of the Netflix and streaming services. Watch The Mandalorian. That show was pretty cool, I thought. Yeah, I don't know. If you've never watched it, there was a great TV show called Deadwood I quite enjoyed. They only did 3 seasons in a movie, but it's about cowboys. Kelso says, wow, sounds awesome. Yeah, so check it out and you get to bid on it. And I think, nobody pays anything except the winning bid. But then the amount that they pay for the package, they get the package, and that amount goes directly to the charity tally. Margaret Whiting says, I said it earlier, but Dylan Olcott got Aussie of the Year. You need to get the local hero of the Aussie of the Year award. Oh, yeah, well, I'm not, you know. Shut up, Simon. Old dog, new tricks. Well, that's a lovely idea. Thank you so much for that extremely generous comment. Yeah, I'm just a guy walking. I'm just a buffhead. I dress up silly, you know. There are people out there making really profound contributions at the society level. You know, look at them. Look at the firefighters and the people who are working in, important and courageous fields. You know, the scientists and doctors and all that. Renee Barr says, I bet you really enjoying these days of roughing it. Yeah, look, this day is not roughing it. This day is wow, But the days of roughing it give the appreciation for that. So the last few days of powering through beach and wilderness and back roads and all of the rest, and sleeping rough, they just now that I'm here in complete comfort, they just give me a complete appreciation for that. You know what I mean? But yeah, the roughing it, it's somehow intensely spiritually nominating. See, I saw a comment then, and I meant to say nourishing, and then it came out nominating. That means I've had too many beers, and I've only had 3. The whole when you're just out there and you look up, and I look up and I see that celestial majesty, all of these stars, because you're in the middle of nowhere. There's no city lights to filter them out, and it's you and you're alone. Like there's nobody within a meter, a kilometer, maybe even 10 kilometers of you, and you're there in a hammock, and the weather's going to hit maybe, but that doesn't matter because you can always pull the tarp over, and you're just staring up at the stars, and they're gorgeous. And it's those moments that you're able to, I don't know, see the grand design of it all. I don't know what the meaning of life is. I don't know what our purpose is, but I believe we have one. I don't think we're just bags of meat. Evolved monkeys. We're born, we eat, we have sex, we kill, and we die. We're more than that. There's a meaningful spiritual dimension to our lives. I believe that. I could be wrong. And beliefs are like that. We just have to learn to accept that we all have our own, and we're entitled to have them. And if we share them and clarify them, we can learn from each other. It's a tragedy that we think it's okay to cut the heads off people who believe differently to us. I say we at the species level, meaning some of us. But yeah, I believe that there is a deeper spiritual meaning to our life. And when I look up at those stars above me, I start to think that it might be, it might have that level of beauty and majesty to it. Just us, these bumbling old humans wandering around getting drunk, we individually may have that inside us. Anyway, old man spiritual ramble there. So here I am in the hotel room, and I reckon I'm going to sleep a good 10 to 12 hours tonight. I'm feeling a little bit sleepy now. I think you might be able to see the old eyes are a little bit puffy and ready for a power nap. So, just to recap, tomorrow, ferry across to Nelson Bay, then power down the road or the beach to Stockton, where I'll take another ferry the following morning to Newcastle. That is plan A, and I think it's a viable plan. Whether I go beach or road doesn't matter. But yeah, I'll camp somewhere just outside Stockton, or if not just outside, it might even be like 10k north of. And the morning of the 27th, I'll press through to the Stockton ferry across to Newcastle and roll into Newcastle. And there's people waiting there who want to meet, and that's a delight. I will meet them with great joy. I look forward to it. Sue says, beers and a safe place to sleep after days of rising up to survive the bush is good. Yeah, right, rising up to survive the bush is good. Yeah, I can tell you firsthand, yep, it ain't just good, it's great. So, look at that, I'm not wearing my little beard ribbon from T-Kaz's Dare. Have I abandoned it? Yep, I'm going to full throttle military Santa. I'll put the ribbon back in tomorrow. Kelso says, hope you have a really good night's sleep. Sleep well. Thank you, mate, so much. I will have a lovely deep sleep tonight. I'm completely relaxed. I'm full as a goog, as my grandmother used to say. And yeah, I'm going to rest very, very well indeed. So those of you who've taken an interest and adopted me, I'm humbled and I'm so grateful. Thank you for your continued and unrelenting kindness. And think of that too. Like I am an old weirdo and I've set out into the world and it could have gone any old way. But look at all of this kindness. Look at all this beauty. And that's us. That's humanity, you know. There's dignity and beauty and kindness and courage in us, and that's great, you know. So think of everything that we've seen. Just pointed at me, this old buffhead. I'm not pretty, you know. I don't have some dazzlingly funny sense of humor or any like, you know, look at him qualities, except maybe for the dressing up like a goofy superhero, and yet I received this profound, relentless kindness. So that speaks well for us, I think, as a society, as a species. It's lovely. It's wonderful. So Gail says, looking forward to the 27th. I'll message you regarding walking with you, Captain, and I'll dress up. Right on, Gail. Okay, mate. I can get funky with that, Gail. Okay, we need a name for you. You can dream that up yourself. And even if it's just a towel around your neck, that's dressing up. But go full throttle, mate. Anyone in Newcastle who wants to walk for a bit, get on there. Dorothy says, you look amazing, Captain. You're doing great. Well done. Oh, thank you, Dorothy. Sue, hope you write a book called Old Man Rambles. Old Man Rambles. It sounds like a country and western song, you know, like Old Man Rambles. He lost his woman, he got in a knife fight, and he found another woman. Old Man Rambles. Old Man Rambles. You're amazing, Simon, inspiring us all. Sleep well. Yeah, thank you so much. Gail says, have you done the flamingo dare yet? I haven't found a bloody flamingo, Gail. It's like, I mean, if it's a T-Rex, that might be easier, because at least, you know, kids love T-Rexes. Who in their right mind loves flamingos? Like, even for a lawn ornament, where do I get a flamingo from? I'm trying. It's on the list. I'm aware of it. But I can only do what I can do. As soon as I find it, I was tempted to just draw a flamingo and slap it on the chest and I'll be Flamingo Boy. But no, I'm keeping my eyes open at all of the little curio shops and everywhere else. Renee says, your words, the way you tell a story, I think you need to start up a podcast, some sort of a meditation background sound or something. Because you put people into a trance and draw them in. Ooh, are you in a trance? These are not the droids you're looking for. Amazing, and it opens us up to a bigger picture of everyday life. Okay, now, PayPal, Simon at simplytravelinsurance.com.au. PayPal, Simon, PayPal, Simon. Sorry, if at least one of you is in a trance there, that might pay dividends for me down the track, you know, so I thought I'd have to give it a go. Okay, I've got one. You've got a costume and a name, Gail. Marvellous. Don't tell me, surprise me. Margaret Whiting, beach swim thing. Lynette, have tried, can't find. I don't know what, flamingo maybe? Yep, I'm going to keep, all the way down to Melbourne, I'm keeping my eyes open. It's a dare. It's an unreconciled, incomplete dare, and that is getting up my bum a little bit, and I will keep my eyes open for a flamingo. So, okay, Sue says, and love your sense of humour. Trance. Wasn't that a type of music too, like, isn't trance a type of techno where they just, but it's maybe less upbeat and more like, you just sort of, you're supposed to take ecstasy or something and just get out there and sort of like jive to it. Jive. I'm so funky the way I got them fancy disco words. Gail, I've got a flamingo. You've got a flamingo. Okay. Like a lawn ornament type of flamingo or something that I can wear? Because I think I'm supposed to wear it. I don't know for how long, so we'll say for like a day or something.
If you do, and we meet up and we walk for a bit, Gail, I will be in your debt if you produce that flamingo. And I reckon that's not, that's not a sentence that's been used before, or if it has, not with any great frequency. I will be in your debt if you produce the flamingo, Gail. All right. So I think we'll, on that note, we'll just leave it there, shall we? I'm going to fall asleep. Probably, I need to FaceTime my wife and kids, so I'm going to enjoy that, and then I'm going to zonk out and sleep. A floaty type, like a little thing I can just put on my arm. All right. Have you got a matching set? That would probably be cooler. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for your time and interest. This is Simon, not quite Captain Australia at the moment, signing out. And yeah, I'll update you tomorrow. And if we see a pod of dolphins from this ferry, I will definitely share that moment with you. So all the best. I think I'm done with my service issues. So I've had 3 days of just next to nothing, being in the Bermuda Triangle of cell phone service. But I think rolling forward, we're all good, at least till we get to some rural parts of Victoria. So, fare thee well, and thank you so much for your time and interest, and take care of yourselves.